So, I was on the train, and I got off the train, and there, at the train station, was one of them K9 units. And the German Shepherd, he was looking at me. So, I started to look at the German Shepherd right back. And I'm looking at the German Shepherd like, what you looking at, man? And the German Shepherd is like, I'm looking at you, man. And that's when I remembered that I had no food in my refrigerator at home. And so I decided to have me some hot dog for dinner. So, I picked up the German Shepherd in my hand and I started to walk away with my dinner. I mean, the German Shepherd. I mean, the German Shepherd, you know, he's got a muscle on him, you know. What's he gonna do? And the K9 unit guy, he was too busy texting on his telephone to even notice. So, I'm getting on the bus to the south side of Chicago with his German Shepherd, you know, my dinner underneath my arm. And guess who was on the CTA bus to the south side of Chicago? None other than Her Majesty the Queen of England! And the Queen of England, she was checking out the German Shepherd. The Queen of England, she was like, to the German Shepherd, the Queen of England was like, come over here, big boy. And the German Shepherd was like, huh? And the next thing I know, the German Shepherd, he jumps out of my arm. And the German Shepherd, he starts to fuck the Queen of England. Yeah, the German Shepherd, he's fucking the Queen of England doggy style. And the Queen of England is like, fuck me, Mr. German Shepherd, fuck me. And the German Shepherd, he's like, Now, while this was going on, I noticed that the bus driver was none other than Charles Manson. But not the Charles Manson with a swastika in his forehead. No. It was the Charles Manson with the big vagina in his forehead. So I'm fucking Charles Manson in the big vagina in his forehead. And that's when I ejaculate the Pledge of Allegiance, for which it stands for, one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. I ejaculate all of that into the vagina in Charles Manson's forehead. Oh yeah, I got my nut. But then, Charles Manson got so distracted when I ejaculated the Pledge of Allegiance into his forehead that Charles Manson crashed the bus into this big Tyrannosaurus Rex that was just standing there in the middle of the street. So, that's when Charles Manson, he freaks out and he shits out of his asshole Dick Cheney. That's right. Charles Manson, he shits Dick Cheney out of his asshole. Then Dick Cheney shits Osama bin Laden out of his asshole. And then Osama bin Laden shits 2 jet airplanes out of his asshole. Now, the 2 jet airplanes that got shitted out of Osama bin Laden's asshole, the 2 jet airplanes, they fly off to New York City. And the 2 jet airplanes, they crash into them 2 big 100-story erections on the southern tip of Manhattan. You know, the World Trade Center, 9/11. So then, the 2 100-story erections at the southern tip of Manhattan, they come crashing down. And then, George Bush Jr. and Barack Obama bombed the living mess out of the Middle East. That's right, George Bush Jr. and Barack Obama, they bombed the living mess out of the Middle East. Bomb the Middle East back to the Stone Age, they do. But, this is the controversial part. When George Bush Jr. bombs the hell out of the Middle East, it's reactionary because George Bush Jr. is a straight white male Republican. And when Barack Obama bombs the hell out of the Middle East, it's liberal and progressive because Barack Obama is a black Democrat. So, Barack Obama gets the Nobel Peace Prize for bombing the hell out of the Middle East. Yay! Applause, 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 applause. Okay, yeah. Now, this is where the plot thickens. Osama bin Laden, no, not Osama bin Laden, Charles Manson, that's right, Charles Manson gives birth to the love child of, Charles Manson gives birth to our love child, the love child of Wolf Larsen and Charles Manson. And the love child of Charles Manson and Wolf Larsen has not 1, but 2 heads. Now, one of the heads has the face of Rahm Emanuel. And the other head has the face of Lori Lightfoot. So, next week, Richard J. Daley, the original Daley, the father, the boss, the first Daley mayor, Richard J. Daley is going to come and he's going to baptize our love child with all of his jism. Yay! At the Church of Satanology of the Latter-day New Orleans Saints. So, bring your beer and pretzels. It should be quite a game. Hope to see you all there. Hey, man, this is one of my books. I got 30 of them on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. My book, Smoking Hashish with Stravinsky, a collection of poetry. That's me, Wolf Larsen, and